Knock knock. You want me to just say knock knock? Because there's a laughter right there.
You know, that first memory happened really young when I felt like I wasn't a woman. When I was a kid, I would remember, me wanting to be exactly like my brothers. I wanted to do everything exactly like them. I wanted to wear the same clothing they had. I wanted all the shoes they had. I never wanted anything really feminine. I remember one time I told my mom, "Hey mom, let's throw away all my boys' clothes and I'm gonna try, this whole girly thing for you." It lasted like a day, and then I ended up going back to getting all my little tomboy clothes, what she called them, and wearing them naturally. So I don't ever think that I really fit into the feminine world. The difference between gender and sex, I honestly really do hate this question, just because people are going to confuse it no matter how you answer the question anyway. But for me personally, I think gender and sex differ by a long shot. Your gender is what you perceive you are, how you identify yourself, and your sex is what you're biologically born as. Transition means a lot of different things to a lot of different people, and for me it's remaining authentic. Keep transitioning to become authentic.
It's one thing to, I'm gay. Okay, that's fine. But now I'm a transgender. It's like some people have a hard time accepting that you're gay. But then to be a transgender too, I didn't even know what it meant. Until Leon explained it to me. We talked and I said, "Are you sure this is what you want to do?" And he would say, "Yeah." And I was like, "Are you sure?" Because I had to ask to make sure that it was okay. But I guess you could say it's not so much of me, but my family is from the old school. My father is he's 75. And you know how that age group is. It's like, you don't do that. People's been doing it for years. It's just that now it's out in the open and it's more accepting to society. But in their age and time, it was not acceptable. It was one way, because that's what the Bible said. But then you have to stop and think about their life.
It used to bother me when people are like, "Oh, you're on the women's basketball team." I'm like, why can't it just be the basketball team?
It was just the best feeling in the world to play with somebody that you cared about and that you also call your best friend.
And I was like, "Hey Sid, I have something to tell you. I just have to get this off my chest." And she was like, "Oh, what's up, bro? What do you want to tell me?" And I was like, "Well, I think I'm trans. I don't feel like a girl." And she was like, "Okay, what does that mean?" And I was like, "Well, you know how girls become boys, or they present themselves as boys? That's kind of how I feel." And she kind of just stared at me. And I was like, this went really bad. She's not responding.
I never really heard of transgender community, so I felt 50-50 with it. I wanted him to go. I didn't want him to do it because I was scared of what people would say. I didn't want people to judge him because it was different. It's not, it's not your everyday thing that people just like, what, hey, I want to be transgender today. So I actually want to support him. It's my best friend. He means the word to me. He's a really good friend. So I was like, hey, if that's really what you want to do, then let's go for it. He's more genuine now. He's more willing to give. I feel like being that he's able to show people who he truly is, he can really give more of himself. Before, I felt like he was caged off because he didn't want people to judge him about being transgender, so he was living a life that he didn't want to live. But once he opened those gates, I feel like he was more emotional. He was able to be himself, basically.
When I first started, getting to know Leon, he seemed more a little kind of timid. I don't know if it's because we were talking and he was like nervous. I accepted him since he's told me from day one. Like, it never bothered me. I just actually started coming out when I started talking to him. So that was different. I just didn't expect to go straight into that, just as coming out for myself.
And she was like, okay, so you're my boyfriend. And I was like, yeah, like that sounds a lot better than me. So like instantly she went on all her social media websites that she had mentioned me as being like her girlfriend, and she changed all the correct pronouns like right then and there. So it made me feel really, really good.
If anything, I knew I wanted to adopt, down the road. But we moved into this 2-bedroom house and we had a spare room. And we talked about it. We really wanted to help trans children that are out on the streets and family that doesn't understand them, and just help.
Seeing that a lot of my friends growing up were foster children and seeing how the families that help them enhance their lives, I want to do the same for other children.
It just happened just so fast, right away, and we've been doing it ever since. We love it. We just love kids.
Don't let anyone deter you from doing what you want to do. Leon was so unhappy and I didn't understand why, but now I do. Because he's himself. He's well respected, knows what he wants in life, and I don't think any parent can totally understand, but when your children are happy, you're happy. And as long as he's happy, I'm happy.